August 2006, one of the world's leading paragliders, Eva Wiśniewska, narrowly escapes death in a freak accident in the Swiss Alps. With a fractured pelvis, her dream of winning the upcoming World Championships in Australia seems over.
The beautiful thing in paragliding is you don't need anybody. You just take your backpack, go up, and you just glide totally free. Before I started flying, I didn't really know what to do in my life. When I started paragliding, it was like a virus. I couldn't get rid of it. So I changed everything. I decided to live in a car, just following the competitions. So everything in my life was around flying.
In only her 4th year of competitive flying, Eva Wiśniewska is already the top-ranked female paraglider in the world.
Eva Wiśniewska, who is the first woman on this event.
I was the German champion, then I won one World Cup, second one, third one, fifth one, and it's like collecting the titles, and the only title I didn't own was the world champion. So of course it was a big dream to have this one.
Just 6 months after fracturing her pelvis, Eva has fought her way back into contention for the World Championship. In just a few short years, the outback town of Manila has become a mecca for paragliders the world over. 150 pilots from 34 countries will challenge for the world title, the highest accolade in paragliding.
Before the World Championships in Manila, I had a big accident in Switzerland. I had to work a lot on my physical strength to get to the top again.
You're listening to Breakfast, ABC New England Northwest. A big hello to paraglider pilots from around the world in town for the Paragliding Championships. The forecast's looking clear, variable winds, but some storm clouds brewing this afternoon.
In the week before the World Championships, Eva and the German team are taking part in a cross-country event called the XC Open.
I wanted to participate in the XC Open, to know about the area, where are the good places, where are the difficult parts, just to be prepared for the Worlds.
German team leader Stefan Mast is responsible for the safety of Eva and the other 6 German pilots.
Eva was physically fit, and she was also mentally top of the game. She was not going for the female title, she was going for best place in the competition.
Another member of the German team is Andreas Malecki, who has been training with Eva for the past 3 years.
Eva is a very important pilot, one of the best girls from the world, and she will beat the boys, not only the girls.
Anyone wants to come to this briefing? You want to be here in the next 30 seconds, please?
The director of the Manila Cross Country Championship is Godfrey Wennes. One of the most experienced pilots in the world, Wennes is the former world record holder for long-distance paragliding.
The person that wins an XC Open World Series event, which is an endurance event as opposed to a drag race, is the person that flies the furthest by the end of the day. So it needs not just speed but endurance, and it's not just a physical endurance, it's also mental endurance.
In a cross-country event, pilots are permitted to fly in any direction they choose.
The early start of the clouds is to the north of us here, and you can see to the north of us is where they are the biggest now, so quite obvious.
By the time the pilots assemble on Mount Bora for their weather briefing, the threat of severe thunderstorms to the north has increased dramatically.
And that I made quite clear for them, that there was a line there. If you get there early, you'll be able to pass through and continue on a long flight. But if you get there late, you might be stuck at a dead end, effectively.
At 11:30, the pilots begin launching from Mount Bora.
Basically, half an hour after the briefing, probably about half the pilots are flying, around 50 to 60 in the air at that stage, most headed north.
Paragliders use rising columns of hot air known as thermals to gain altitude. When cross-country flying, they make distance by climbing in these thermals and using the prevailing winds to glide down from one to another.
Clouds in our game are of course lift, and the quicker it is, the faster you go on your average speed. So the guys are looking for the bigger clouds in order to maximise their cross-country speeds. To win that day, they would have definitely had to fly with full tailwind and fly towards the emerging clouds and get past it before it turns into a line of thunderstorms or indeed some larger cells.